Now, you might call me crazy. You might call me sick in the head. It wasn't pretty, and I normally freak the hell out when it wasn't pretty. But I need to take this for what it is, okay? Oh, is that a Phillies hat? Okay, Bryce Harper plays for the Phillies. What? Let's move back to the Sixers. We just played a game in OKC where we snap a losing streak without Joel Embiid, without Boban, and obviously it helped for them not to have Paul George. That was insane for them not to have him, and it was definitely a key piece to our success tonight. But we went in there and we won with Amir Johnson playing a lot of minutes, with Jonah Bolden playing a lot of minutes. And I said before the game, now in my video that I made, this was before the Paul George news, which changed everything. But I said one of the big things is, how are we going to be able to defend their big guys? Adams, Nerlens Noel, these players, they're going to attack the paint. How are we going to stop them? Well, if you told me that Steven Adams was going to have 14 and 11 and Nerlens Noel was going to have 4 points total before the game started, I would have said, hell yeah, sign me up for that. And that's exactly what happened. Now, Jonah in his 20 minutes, he did pretty well. He hit a couple of threes. He shot 6 of 7 from the floor, and he finished with 14 points. Jonah Bolden had a good amount of spark out there. Now, his one thing is he gets into foul trouble a lot. We've seen it happen last game, and he gets some personal fouls again today, and he does get into foul trouble. And Amir Johnson stepped in. He got into foul trouble too, but you knew they were going to expose that matchup every single time he was out there. And people want to argue Patton wasn't in. Why didn't we put Patton in? Listen, I know Amir Johnson stinks, but at least he has veteran presence out there. He's been around the league, and that has some value. And understanding the Celtics are losing games, understanding the Pacers have lost a couple games. Now, I understand that they won their last one, but they lost a few, and these games are so important. You gotta get the wins here right now, because we kind of have a chance for the 3rd seed, which blows my mind. We do, and you have to get those wins, so I understand completely with going with Amir Johnson, even though he stinks, over someone who has no NBA experience at all. Who does this game really come down to? Tobias Harris, 32 points, going on personal 8-0 runs in the 4th quarter. You have him having monster blocks late too. He was doing everything. He is a stud. He was phenomenal today. Lights out shooting the basketball, 5 of 7 from 3, 11 of 19 from the floor. He was great. Now, Jimmy Butler was the bell ringer in the locker room after the game. I was shocked it wasn't Tobias. He finishes with 28 and 8. And one thing I like about his game today, he was shooting the basketball. He was shooting the ball, taking chances. He had 20 field goal attempts. He wasn't afraid to take shots, and that's what I liked out of Jimmy today. People say he's being too soft. He's not taking over games. He's not trying to shoot. He looks like he's content. I see it completely different, but he attacked today. He made offense happen by shooting the basketball. Ben Simmons, triple-double, 11, 13 boards, and 11. 11, 13, 11, yes. Russell Westbrook, he gets himself a triple-double, but he stinks in my opinion. 1 of 9 from 3. Terrible from the floor shooting, 8 of 24. He's just died down completely. He's terrible from shooting from 3. He's not a great free throw shooter. Now, the Sixers did not shoot well at all from the free throw line. They were just terrible. They need to get better at that. Ben had a pair to shoot late that he didn't do well on. Free throw shooting has to be better. You know what else has to be better? J.J. Redick. That cannot happen. He's shooting under 30% from 3 when Joel Embiid is not playing. That says a lot. I don't know why, if it's mental, if he's just getting old, but that's bad. That can't happen. He needs to shoot better. And these looks were wide open now. It's not because Joel Embiid's not there, he's not getting open looks. He needs to be better. And that's just reality of it. He struggled insanely, 3 of 13 shooting, and it has to be better from J.J. Redick for this team to succeed. But Tobias Harris was a dog today. Just an absolute dog. So let's talk about this last 5-minute stretch, because it was a tie ball game at that point. The Sixers had it, and then they kind of blew a lead and ended up being tied with 5 minutes left. And I wasn't mad. Surprisingly, I don't know if it's the Bryce Harper move or not, or if it was understanding where we don't have Embiid and Boban and the guys were rocking at the 5 position. That's probably realistically it. The Bryce Harper thing helps, but it's because I understand we're missing our top 2 guys at the center position. I said, all right, let's just see what can happen. So in the stretch when it was 93-93, 5 minutes left. Tobias, 8-0 run. Remarkable. Jimmy ends up topping off the 8-0 run with a nice slam after a pass from Ben Simmons. And we take a 10-0 run, and we're up. But then we allow them to come back and cut into the lead, and then they make another push, and they make a run with a minute and change left. Ben Simmons with a horrible foul on the other side of the floor. Jimmy Butler, he's right there at the rack. He tries to force one. That was bad. And then we were up 6 at this point with very, very limited amount of time left. He has the ball, JJ, at like our 3-point line. They had a full court press going, so there was clearly going to be a foul. They were going to foul on purpose or something. He gives it to Ben wide open, down low, and why? I mean, you know they're going to probably foul you or at least run the clock off. What is happening? Why are you giving it to Ben, who's a horrible free throw shooter? They all go run after Ben. Ben tries to throw it back to JJ, and it gets stolen, and they get another chance. That's just bad. That's bad basketball IQ. You got to be better there. But we hold on to win. Now, we were up with about 28 seconds left by 2. Jimmy Butler takes the ball down, and he takes a jumper. It was contested, but he takes a jumper. He misses, and Ben Simmons, out of nowhere, rebounds the ball with ease. Just hard nose, grinding. Just a hard rebound to grab. He gets it, and that pretty much seals the deal for the Sixers. And it was ugly. It was hideous. I understand that. But for some reason, I'm okay with it, just understanding that the Celtics keep losing. The Pacers, they fell a couple times, and the team found a way to win. Tobias was elite tonight. He was seriously something else, and I'm just okay with it because it's a win, understanding we're missing top 2 guys. Now, in regards to Joel Embiid, we heard some of Brett Brown's comments before the game, a little concerning when it comes to the reevaluating the knee situation. I mean, I don't know too much information yet. I got to dive into that, and I'm sure we'll talk about that really soon, understanding we have a game against the Warriors on Saturday, and he hasn't been reevaluated yet. But we'll get to that. One thing I did notice with Brett Brown, his first substitution was just Mike Scott. We normally see the hockey line change, where you see 3 guys come in, 3 guys come out, they're set people. Now, he went for the hockey line change. Oh, I'm sorry, he normally goes for the hockey line change. He went just for Mike Scott. And Mike Scott had a nice first quarter, and it died down a little bit, but he hit a big 3 late, and he was really the only one who contributed off the bench. In regards to the first quarter, great speed. I know I'm backtracking all the way to the first quarter, but I thought we played with great speed, a really good pace. We were pushing the ball, and we were really, really moving fast, giving the Thunder some struggle, and we know what kind of happened there. After the half, we kind of lose it a little bit. Fourth quarter comes around tied, and we finish the job off, though, and that's the most important thing. It's weird because there's games like this that happened last game, and I'm freaking the hell out saying, how do we blow things like this? Why do we keep blowing things like this? And then tonight, it's a totally different story. Now, my expectations were different going in, because even though I know they didn't have Paul George, not having Joel Embiid and not having Boban, that was seriously concerning to me. They scored half of their points in the paint, 52 points in the paint to be exact, and I figured that would happen, but I was just really impressed on how we still won this game, giving valuable minutes to Amir Johnson and Jonah Bolden against Adams and Nerlens Noel, and we still come out on top. And really, when I read you their stat lines, I was really impressed. Absolutely really impressed with only 14 and 11 from Adams and 4 points for Nerlens. Now, is that Russell Westbrook without Paul George trying to take over too much and trying to make it all happen? That's possible. You know he has the tendency to do that. Like I said, he gets a triple-double, 23, 11, 11, but he shoots the ball terribly, in my opinion. 1 of 9 from 3, as I said before, and I just want to make sure that I was right. 8 of 24 from the floor total. It's just his game is, I get he puts up triple-doubles, and he's really the second go-to guy now that Paul George is legit. So it's all different, but it's, to me, I don't know. I don't see it with Russell Westbrook. I get he's explosive. He can take it to the rim, and he's hard to defend, but I don't know. He doesn't do it for me. There were times where I like to watch Ben play his defense, and he had some big-time plays there at points, and I really love to watch Ben play defense, especially against some guys where he is matched up against Russell Westbrook. It's interesting to see how that plays if it ever gets to that point. But all around, I'm okay with this. I know it got ugly. I know it got really, really sloppy there, and some mistakes that are mental from veteran players, which is concerning. Like the Ben foul late, terrible, but young. Jimmy Butler going up to the rack and trying to force a pass, that can't happen. And that J.J. Redick mental lapse where he gave it to Ben Simmons down low in the post when they all flocked to go foul him, and I don't know, that situation was just really odd for me. JJ was just not there tonight, and ever since the All-Star break, he has not been there. And keep in mind what I said about him and Joel Embiid. When he's on the floor, when Joel's on the floor, he plays a totally different game. Whether that's the triple handoff being a different factor, I don't know. But the looks tonight were there. It wasn't crazy, hard-looking shots for him. They're wide-open-looking threes that he was just not draining. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.